Much of the fighting right now is taking place in Darfur as the RSF besieges the last city under the control of the Sudanese military and fascia. The United Nations and others have been accused of not doing enough to help the people of Sudan, with millions at risk of dying from conflict and famine. Now, for the last 2 decades, Wahid Nour has been a major figure in Darfur. He's the leader of the Sudan Liberation Army of the Wahid faction, which controls the Jebel Marra area of Darfur. Up until now, he has stayed neutral in this latest conflict. There have been reports suggesting, though, that large numbers of people have fled the fighting in and around Al-Fasher into the area that Abdel Wahid controls, Jebel Marra. So I asked him if this was true.
You know that we are providing to them security, we're providing security very well for them, but we are not able, because we feel helpless, that we are not able to provide shelter, food, water, medicine. It is a catastrophe. It is a nightmare. There's a real humanitarian catastrophe, running out of any food, anything, any life assistance to them. It is really catastrophic. And this is not only in Darfur or Jebel Marra or under control area. This is across the country.
I was going to ask you about that because all over Sudan, and we've been talking about it for weeks now, millions of people are at risk of famine. People are struggling to find their next meal. So what about in the areas you control? Is it possible to get food in? Are you able to grow enough food to feed people? Or are people starving to death?
For the moment, we don't have, because UN is very bureaucrats. And the matter of fact, in Sudan today, they're talking about sovereignty. And the matter of fact, there is a forced sovereignty in Sudan. There is SPLM North, led by General Abdel al-Hilu, their control of South Kordofan, Nuba Mountain, and Blue Nile. There is SAF in East Sudan and North Sudan, and there is Rapid Support Force, and there is us who control the region I told you. So this is a forced sovereignty, and I'm calling upon the international community that the reality is that this is a fact. We need food to come cross Chad border. It will never come from Port Sudan, not at all. It will never come there. And even if it's there, you know that this mentality of those who ruling the world now, the last thing they think is about human life and human dignity. We need from the UN to open, in particular for this new resolution, that we want our area to be a safe haven to the people, and also the food to be distributed only to Darfur, but also to Kordofan. You know that there will not be a food or anything coming from Port Sudan to Kordofan.
Yeah, the Sudanese military in Port Sudan are unlikely to want food to go to areas controlled by rebels in South Kordofan or in Darfur.
Our strategy as the movement is that we want also to protect and to guarantee this rainy season, people to shift their lands. We want people to be satisfied, and moreover to make a business, because we want food to be there. We can't rely on UN and others to relieve the people without protecting the land. Our land is a very fertile. With the security, with the shifting of the people, their land, it means that we are creating a food security.
So far, your rebel movement has not joined in the fighting, unlike some others, on one side or another. Why?
First, we are not a rebel movement. We are a resistance movement, Sudan Liberation Movement, to liberate Sudan from the junta, those who are killing without vision. We don't join them because both of them, they create to fight. These were the two, Bashir using them more than 23 years to avoid us not to change them. committing genocide, ethnic cleansing, war against humanity, and war crime since 2003. And how can we join them? We want to create a secular, liberal, federal Sudan based on equal citizenship rights, and religion should be separate from the state. And definitely we can't do with both of them.
Thoughts there of Abdel Wahid al-Nour, the leader of the Sudan Liberation Army, Abdel Wahid faction, which controls substantial territory in Darfur.